for the deaf people in the villages, wherever they are. And I gathered very, very many, bring them together, because our situation, we didn't have a language. And that was the time when they were teaching us lip reading. They get your hand, they put on your chin, and then you begin say A, B, C. So we didn't have a language by that time. They forced us to go dig, look after animals, not going to school and all. So that was the situation before. And people used to call us, for lack of a better word, those with the mental retardation.
So how did
they used to call us a language of the monkeys. We never used to have language. They used to call us bad names. In Central, they called us Kasiru. So much as we are Kasiru, we accepted fine we are Kasiru, but we can, we can do able things.
From all that suffering, listen to how they overcame communication challenges and now have an officially recognized Ugandan Sign Language.
We got some visitors from Denmark who came, and they were led by a lady called Jolly Fisher. When Jolly Fisher came and began training us in sign language, the official sign language, that's when we did away with the papers and began signing. There's a team that had trained some Ugandans to go to Nigeria to learn how we can set up an organization. And when they returned, I asked Sendagire, let me go and look for deaf people out there. You be the chairperson. I went to look for the deaf people in the villages, wherever they are. So after the team had come back, they gathered the deaf people that we could find, and our starting point was a church. So that is when we began even having our association a sign for UNAD that is recognized by all people and known by all deaf persons. There was the birth of an association called NUDIPO. Then NUDIPO came and joined us, because NUDIPO was a coalition of different categories of persons with disabilities, and they requested us to join them. However, we found it out that by then NUDIPO wasn't welcoming the deaf people because of the mode of communication. Then we shifted up to Luzira. Then from Luzira we went to Kamocha. And then from Kamocha, we shifted it to the current place in Mukono.
Because language is a fundamental tool in ensuring unity in a structured system of communication, there was a need to train deaf people to learn better mechanisms and techniques to convey messages to different individuals using sign language. After all the mobilization, they now thought of the different activities that could keep them together as one. That's when they got partners from Denmark who trained them in organizational development skills. Today, the Uganda National Association of the Deaf celebrates 50 years of existence, a golden jubilee anniversary. Milestones have been achieved in different thematic areas, but challenges still exist, and they are looking forward to achieving more for the years to come.
As we celebrate the 50 years since our birth in 1973, as we celebrate, of course, our golden jubilee, UNAD has implemented different programs over the years. In Uganda, currently we have an estimate of 1,080,000 plus deaf persons, and I could say 600,000 to 700,000 are able to communicate through sign language. And most importantly, sign language is recognized in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as a language, as a medium of communication, and stakeholders are really encouraged to learn sign language. As UNAD have rolled out sign language not only to the deaf people, but also to their families, their family members, and the service providers. Take an example, the teachers, the medical practitioners, the police force, and those interested partners that are really interested in serving the deaf people. Over 50,000 service providers have been benefited through the skills in sign language that we've taught them. But also, we have succeeded in having a program for sign language interpretation, and we have lobbied the government to have a course for sign language in the university. And Chamgo University has taken on the mantle on teaching sign language interpreters.
I am very happy that for the past 50 years, we will be celebrating and our achievements in different areas. First of all, awareness raising has been something very particular and pertinent on one of our agendas at UNAD. You know, many of the members of parliament don't know issues to do with deaf persons, as well as government officers. They really don't know a lot about deaf persons in Uganda, the disability called deafness. When they see an interpreter translating, they're like, what is this person doing? How do the deaf people communicate? How can we help the deaf to understand certain things? Those are the areas, the gray areas. So for long, UNAD has partnered with Parliament to try and create awareness in these areas of communication.
The Uganda Communication Commission recently passed out guidelines on how sign language can be accessed through the media, and all TV stations have it as a requirement to have sign language interpreters. So all these medium of communication and the interpreters are all there on TV to aid access to information by people like me and my constituency. The third thematic area is education. We work hand in hand with government, and we've demanded government to have schools for deaf people, and government has responded.
Government of Uganda first of all recognizes the deaf community as people and citizens with full rights in Uganda. You realize that when we started the deaf movement, there used to be very few sign language interpreters, but now through Chambogo University, which is a government university, we are able to train many sign language interpreters. When you look at an area like, for example, the university, government gives slots for disabled people, and this includes the deaf community.
But I'll also tell you that we've registered numerous achievements. For example, this Ugandan Sign Language Dictionary. We developed it together in a partnership with UNAD, Uganda National Association of the Deaf. And we collected different information, signs from different regions of this country, the north, the west, and south, and different needs that raises within the deaf community. We come together. When we are training and we need deaf role models, we literally go to UNAD, contact UNAD, and provides us different deaf role models who come to empower.
UNAD was the first institute to train sign language interpreters. Afterwards, they had to work with Chambogo University, but at that time it was not Chambogo University, it was UNICE. So they worked with UNICE because it was an academic institute, and they started training sign language interpreters.
We adapt the training materials and we distribute them all over the schools for the benefit of the deaf learners to learn how do we sign A up to Z, how do we sign 1 up to 100 and 1,000. I mean, all those materials to translate them into sign language.
UNAD has really done advocacy, and they have advocated for the recruitment of sign language interpreters on TV stations, then recruitment of sign language interpreters in universities. We have like 2 interpreters who are now working in courts of law. We also have interpreters who are undergoing training in the Uganda Police, so that they give services to deaf people who seek justice.
Under livelihood, Tembo Zubeli is one of the beneficiaries of UNAD, who has economically transferred and passed on the skills to other deaf youths in Uganda. UNAD established a vocational training and resource center where people like Zuberi work.
Previously, why I went to Kenya initially is that there wasn't any school, any training center for the deaf. So by around 1998, that's when UNAD was into this place. I developed it, and then shifted from this place after developing the place. So that is how I got to join UNAD into this place, and they helped me in teaching me many skills. That's when that's why I'm earning a living out of it, because this center accepted me to come the way I was because I was deaf, and also of course growing up as a man. I already have a business. I work with UNAD as an instructor, as a trainer of students who do carpentry. I've gotten a family out of it. I've gotten children out of it. And so right now, when our students are in holidays, So I spend most of my time here doing a lot of work because this is also my other side business. My starting point was only 50 chicken. Right? Currently, I'm a widow. My husband passed on, and he left me with very little kids to take care of. Out of the skill that I, as a deaf person that I'm having, I've taken my children to school. They have graduated. They have masters. I have lawyers in my children, within my children. I have accountants. I have teachers. We have deaf young boys and girls that have gone through school and they can ably do work but are not employed.
Despite all these achievements, the 50 years have also witnessed numerous challenges.
So you see the development, but we don't have enough resources, yes.
Library.
Like a library, yes. The books are just
about
few.
50 books.
About 50 books.
Now, library.
Even the hall.
For what? Learning activities.
For different activities. For example, examination.
Why? All
like UNAD exams where candidates sit in one room.
Now,
it is not there. So most teachers stay in Kampala. So a teacher coming here, he has to spend a lot of money. So though the school gives them some allowance, but it's not enough.
You see that all the materials needed by the people with disability, they cannot distribute. No, but only because the curriculum, it is good.
Gender mainstreaming and health is another core area that UNAD focuses on, and through their awareness creation, capacity building and advocacy, over 90 district branches of deaf people have been created across the country with the emphasis on spreading information, empowerment and education on sexual reproductive health and rights.
We encourage health centers from Ministry of Health to be able to have sign language interpreters who can be able to facilitate communication between the deaf and the people who are hearing.
Previously, we got land and we built a center where deaf people do come and learn different vocational skills. We train them in tailoring, carpentry and joinery, knitting, and they go back in the community and earn a living out of this. And these earnings help them lead independent lives. We have managed so far to formulate 94 district deaf associations. So UNAD is here to contribute towards the mitigation and addressing all these challenges and ministers. We have registered very many achievements which we couldn't have had without the help of different partners. The donors that have been so dear to us. Like I said, we've been depending on donors over the years. We're in good books with government, and we sit on the National Disability Steering Committees, where we front the needs and the voices of deaf persons onto these steering committees.
So government is a partner and is willing and will continue working with people with disabilities, and especially the deaf community.
And I want to encourage you, the community out there, accept your deaf child. The deaf people in your families are very useful people to your family, to your community, and in the long run to the country at large. So empower your child, and then subsequently this child is going to empower you and support you in the long run. Thank you very much.